Why are news outlets ignoring the fact that the future of our planet is at risk? We're seeing record high temperatures year after year. So why did coverage of climate change drop by 66% on broadcast news? Climate change is already wreaking havoc around the world. Here's what happens. Let's say a natural disaster takes place where you and your family live. It could be a tornado, flood, snowstorm, or drought, which will only become more frequent. It gets so bad that you need to move to another part of the country or another country entirely. You will either be internally displaced or a refugee. But you can't even apply for asylum or refugee status because the 1951 Refugee Convention does not include climate change as a reason for fleeing. As a woman, you're even more at risk because of climate change. Studies have shown that women will bear the brunt of natural disasters, and natural disasters kill more women than men. And if you're a pregnant woman, you're even more prone to malaria, heat stress, and dehydration. For example, in Somaliland, a 3-month-long drought has forced many to migrate, and migrating is even riskier as a woman because women face violence, assault, exploitation, and sexual harassment at every stage of their journey. Even once they get to a new camp, they are still at risk for sexual assault. If they make it to a city, they have fewer employment opportunities compared to men because they are often expected to be the sole caregivers for their families. Climate change is already affecting the United States too. It is already forcing the community of Ile de Jean Charles in southeastern Louisiana to begin relocating as it is literally sinking into the Gulf of Mexico. Climate change is also extremely expensive. The federal government had to set aside $48 million in grants to resettle the residents of Ile de Jean Charles. And in the United States alone, more than 5,790 square miles and more than $1 trillion of property are threatened by rising sea levels. And by the way, a note to the president, half of this vulnerable property value is located in Florida. The majority of Americans think we should take action to combat global climate change. And it's the media's job to tell the truth about what's happening in the world. Climate change is happening. Tell that story.